Hello everyone, I just wanted to wish you all a happy new year and to thank you for following my YouTube channel. I wanted to mention a couple things before I got to my main topic of business. You may have noticed that I've uploaded a couple of more videos since I last made a video on my own. I uploaded an 82-second video focusing on one Sheila Johnson. She was a top model in the 1980s, and then at the end of that decade began to make a transition to acting. She was in the Eddie Murphy movie Coming to America as the Lady in Waiting. The only problem was that was a non-speaking role, and not too many people know what her voice sounds like. Most of her modeling work was print work. But I found this sci-fi TV show episode in which she had a brief speaking role, so I wanted to post her part in that because I thought that was very interesting. She has a beautiful voice. Also, I've started uploading episodes of the second season of Rant, which is probably one of the best TV dramas, certainly the best TV drama that's set in a newsroom ever made. There's already a playlist of all 22 episodes of the first season of Rant. I've been watching them on other YouTube channels as I've been uploading them. I've downloaded them from other channels and I've uploaded them onto my own because I think it's a TV show worth preserving. It's great. It ran from 1977 to 1982 on CBS. I was too young at the time to stay up late enough to watch it. I'm glad I get to see those episodes now. Okay, that out of the way, I'd like to focus on my main topic, the 8th generation Volkswagen Golf. Now, as you remember, Volkswagen of America has confirmed that it will sell the 8th generation Golf GTI and Golf R in this country, but it hasn't confirmed that the base 8th generation model, which is cheaper than the performance variants, will be sold here. It hasn't said that it won't sell the base Golf 8 here, but it hasn't said that it will. And I've been trying to convince Volkswagen of America to sell the base Mark 8 Golf in the United States. It is going to be sold in Canada, but it hasn't been confirmed for the United States yet. Now, Volkswagen's year-end sales figures just came out for the United States. Volkswagen of America sold 5,644 7th generation base Golfs in all of 2019. Now, in 2015, which was the Mark 7 Golf's first full calendar year of availability, Volkswagen sold 19,257 base Golfs that year. So, sales of the base 7th generation Golf have declined by 71% between 2015 and 2019. Now, you're probably saying right now, Steve, why are you trying to convince Volkswagen to sell the base version of the 8th generation Golf in the United States when the base 7th generation model went from sales of 19,000 units in 2015 to sales of 5,000 in 2019? Why would you want them to continue selling the base Golf when the new generation comes out, when sales of the base Golf of the previous generation declined 71% in 4 years? Well, here's the thing. In 2015, when Volkswagen sold about 19,000 7th generation Golfs. That was actually a pretty good number because Americans, for some reason, hate hatchbacks. They also hate soccer. That's because my fellow Americans are weird. But 19,000 cars, that's actually pretty good for a hatchback in the United States. In Europe, they sell nearly 500,000 Golfs a year. But for this country, 19,000 is pretty good. 5,000 obviously isn't very good, but I think that's due to model fatigue because the 7th generation Golf has been available for such a long time in this country that practically everybody who wants one has one. So of course they're not going to sell too well now. But once the 8th generation Golf arrives here, assuming it arrives here in base form, we don't know that yet, but if it does arrive here in base form, I am certain that sales are going to go right back up to about 19 or 20,000 units because it'll be a fresh design. It's going to have more standard features, a lot of high-tech features as well, and I am certain that a lot of VW diehards will want one, and they'll buy a base model if it's available because it's less expensive than the GTI, which I'm not sure I could afford, or an R, which I definitely know I can't afford. I mean, come on, that's four-wheel drive. Something like $40,000. I can't afford a car like that. I think I've already told you that in my first homemade video. But Hein Schaefer, a Volkswagen of America vice president, has said that Volkswagen plans to continue on emphasizing sport utility vehicles in the US market because they took a survey. Volkswagen of America took a survey among SUV owners, and most of them love their SUVs so much they wouldn't even consider buying any other type of car. So that gives Volkswagen of America an excuse to offer more SUV models as well as more Tiguans and Atlases. And I'm sorry, that's a slap in the face to those of us Volkswagen diehards who buy Volkswagens simply because they have a European sensibility to them, European flair, European design that you can't find in a domestic or an Asian car. They're trying to sell American-style SUVs like the Atlas to casual customers who don't know a thing about Volkswagen's heritage. They're trying to get that sort of customer, and they're trying to get customers who may have bought a Volkswagen once before but have since left the brand. But what about us diehards who never left the brand at all? We buy Golfs as well as Jettas because they're different from domestic and Asian cars. We like the kind of cars that the average European drives, and the average European drives a Volkswagen Golf because it's a very practical, very sensible car that's also fun to drive. We don't want an SUV that's like an Explorer. If you want an Explorer, go to Ford. So that's where things stand right now. I'm still trying to convince Volkswagen of America to sell the base market Golf, and they're focused on SUVs. And I'm still pushing for the Mark 8 Golf to be sold in the US in base form on my blog, which you can find at mk8golf.blogspot.com. I want to get that right. I want to make that clear. If you want to visit my blog advocating for the base Mark 8 Golf to be sold in America, go to mk8golf.blogspot.com. Okay, I've been talking for over 10 minutes, and it's getting late, so I'm going to end it here. And I close with another picture of the base Mark 8 Golf, and I think it looks pretty cool. Who needs a GTI or an R? Thanks for watching. Take care.